are such a failure. How could you even do that? How could you be so epically bad at something? You completely, epically lost it. Those are probably some conversations you're having in your head about yourself that you would probably never say to another human being. And yet we seem to have no problem being our own worst critic, our own biggest enemy, and say things to ourselves that we would never dare say to another human being because of how hurtful and negative and uninspiring it is. Yet our dialogue to ourselves does not hold that same standard of respect and motivation and positivity. It's likely because we're just getting out of a slow season. March and April tend to be slower, at least here in the Northern Hemisphere for lash artists. So I'm getting a lot of questions from lash artists lately about what if I fail? And what is the worst thing that can happen to me if my business fails? This very, oh my gosh, I am spinning with anxiety and overthinking and overanalyzing, and I am projecting the worst case scenario, what actually can happen to me. And on today's episode, I'm going to stick a pin in this failure conversation. And you know what? I'm going to walk down what would be the worst case scenario for you. How about we do that today? So what is the worst case scenario? Your business fails and you close up shop and you still live, I hope. Literally, worst case scenario in almost any situation where it is having to do with your business is that you're done doing business and you can either start over or you go work for someone else. Now, for some of you, either of those options sounds pretty scary. Oh my God, what do you mean start over? I've already worked so hard. I don't want to go back to the beginning. Here's the thing with starting over that's a little bit not thought about much, in that when you start over in something that you've already done, you're not starting from square one again. You already have the experience, the knowledge, and the kind of learning curve handled already that you didn't have when you first started your business. And if you had to go back and work for somebody else, you don't have to go back to the same job you were miserable at before. You can find something that's a little more fun that, you know, pays you to kind of BS around and have somebody tell you what to do while you're then starting over with your business. So worst case scenario for your business shutting down, you'll survive, you'll figure it out, and you will be okay. In every scenario, in every season in our life, a season changes, whether it's a good season or a bad season, and then a season ends and changes again. So there is no permanency. So when we start to live in a state of fear, especially when it comes to failure, we start to make up that this is just going to be our life from here on out. But for most of us, and if you have a chemical imbalance, this may be different and medication can help you get there. But for most of us, we are always trying to find that balance in our life of making things okay and making things settled for us so we're not living in a permanent state of chaos. When we're in chaos, whether it's in your mind or your kind of outside world, you are always trying to right the chaos. So there's no reason why that shouldn't happen for you if you fail business. What if you trip and fall in a parking lot and you break a bone? The bone heals and then you move on in life. Maybe you have to, do a little physical therapy. Maybe you have to nurse your wounds for a little bit. Maybe you have to pull back and reassess, how you walk. I don't know. But it will give you more information to make better decisions in the future. And that's exactly what failure is giving you lessons that you needed to learn that maybe you weren't going to learn any other way than falling in a parking lot and breaking your leg. That's a little dramatic, but I get it. So let's go over I have to go back for working for someone else. If you're worried that your business is going to fail and you haven't even started it yet, aren't you already working for someone else? So aren't you already at the result that you're so worried about getting to that you may fail? So if you fail and you have to go back to working for somebody else, but you're working for somebody else right now, you already have the results that you're so afraid of getting, right? And that can be said for a lot of our fears of failure. What if nobody becomes a client or a customer of mine? If I start a business and I have 0 clients, what if that happens? Well, if you don't start a business, then you already have 0 clients. So you're already getting the result that you don't want. So what is it going to hurt you if you just try? You only got up from here when you're looking at this kind of big, intimidating, scary thing that's ahead of you. but aren't you kind of already living in that reality of what you're so afraid of in the future? So maybe you're thinking, I won't be able to afford to live or support my family. So what does that mean? What does that mean? That you would not be able to afford or live or support your family? Are you going to put your family in that place? Are you going to make decisions that are going to put your family in a position where you wouldn't be able to pay bills or survive or have a roof over your head? I love entrepreneurship, and there is a lot of risk that comes with entrepreneurship. But if it came down to being able to feed my family and being an entrepreneur or having stability in my job, I'd probably find a way to do both. And that's what I teach on, is that you don't have to go all in on one thing or another. You can gradually make steps towards the right direction that will lead you to your end result. So yes, maybe you're really fed up with the job that you're at and you can't wait to be done with it. Well, couldn't you go work at like Costco or a grocery store, like very part-time, and it pays you consistently and you get a paycheck while you're taking lash clients on the side and building that side of your business? It doesn't always have to be a this or that. You can find middle ground and conservative steps so that you're not putting yourself in a position where you can't afford to live, where you can't support your family. There are going to be times when money's tight, but that's just an opportunity for you to learn to manage your finances better, which will serve you throughout your entire career and as a business owner. There is definitely risk in entrepreneurship, but stability will absolutely come over time. And the beauty is that you're in control of your stability when you do run your own business. It's not like you're going to show up one day and be laid off. That's happened to me before. When the market crashed in 2008, I was laid off. I was the most recent person hired at a nonprofit, and I was then let go with, just a month's pay, saying, sorry, we can't afford to keep you anymore. And I went back to working at restaurants after having a college degree and a career for a couple of years. So I am now in charge of my business, and I know if I want to make more money, that's on me to do. I don't have to ask anybody's permission. I just have to figure out a way to do that. So I want you to have a perspective shift. Now, what do you think your results will be in life if you are focusing on the negatives? Tiger, tiger, tiger. Don't think of a tiger. Tiger, roar, tiger. Don't think of a tiger right now. Oh, I bet the only thing you're thinking about right now is a tiger. And as I say tiger, 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 the more you think about a tiger, the more you're going to start noticing tigers on people's shirts, on billboards, on commercials. You're going to see tigers everywhere. It's the same thing when you think about failure and so afraid of failure, and I'm afraid, and I don't have enough money, I'm broke. When you focus on that and you repeat it over and over and over again, you are going to find proof of those results. I'm so broke, I can't afford, I don't have enough money. You're going to keep looking at reasons and things in your life that justify and support that theory because you're focusing on it. I don't have enough money. My bank account is so low. There's no money in my wallet. My card declined. You're going to see all of these kind of justifications of this mindset that you're living in. What if you focused on positives? I fully challenge you and dare you to focus on positives, whether you believe it or not, and just start thinking, tiger, tiger, tiger. No, I'm kidding. But just start thinking, there's enough clients to go around. I am successful and I am working so hard on success. Everything is working in my favor. My success is inevitable. What do you think might happen to your mindset and how you show up in your business and the decisions you make in your life when you are identifying yourself as someone who's successful? Food for thought. And did you know that maybe there's somebody out there who's already looking at you as successful? And maybe they've told you, or maybe they haven't. But if you are contemplating even running out and starting your own business, that sheer action of you leaving a job and going out on your own to be your own boss, a lot of somebodies would think that alone is success because you took a risk. You stepped up, you wanted something and you went after it. Whereas you're thinking, oh my God, I might fail, or I don't have enough money, or there's not enough clients to go around. I live in a saturated market. I can't charge high prices because, there's a girl down the street who does amazing work and she charges low prices, and you're all in a scarcity mindset. And yet there's other people that are looking up to you for the ambition you have and the drive you have and the motivation that you completed something that they wish they could, that they just feel they can't. So who's right in that scenario? Are you right for thinking this is scary, I'm going to fail, I don't have enough money? Or is the person who thinks that you're amazing and that you took this leap of faith and that you're bold and inspiring right? Who would you rather be right in that case? I'm betting most of you are not really clinging to, well, I want to live in a negative mindset because that's the cool thing to do. You probably want to be that person who's inspiring others and doing bold things and chasing your dreams all out. And guess what? You get to control your thoughts. You do. You get to choose what runs through your head, your perspective. You know, it's still very weird to me when people are when they fangirl me, if they meet me in person, if they talk about how much I've changed their lives, because I am not used to it. And I still have a lot of negative self-talk in my head, but also it's just who I am, is to put this information out there and speak the way that I do and think the way that I do. To me, it doesn't seem anything inspiring or incredible. It's just a part of who I am. And yet I'm still having this amazing impact. And I choose to see that as my reward for doing the work that I'm doing, for challenging my own beliefs and my own limitations and my own scarcity mindset. Because I still struggle with it too. Just because you reach a level of success that you wanted doesn't mean that you don't have other struggles that come along with that. I have a lot of struggles. I have a new team now that is like totally dependent on me for their income. There's a lot of new level, new devil stuff going on. And I can choose to be afraid of that. I can choose to focus on how tough that is on me and how taxing that is. I can think about just the pressure of finances as my family and I are trying to buy a new house and I have these other people's incomes that I'm responsible for now. Or I can think, oh my gosh, look at the level of success I'm at. I'm able to support people. I'm able to create a business that other people are passionate to be a part of, that they're hungry to work for, that they want to increase the impact we have. It's all a matter of perspective. And I want to invite you into the positive perspective and not in this like, we are the world kumbaya way, but if that's what suits you, by all means, go for it. But for me, it's just a matter of our energy as entrepreneurs is something we need to ferociously protect. You know, be a tiger about your energy and protecting it. So when you focus on failure and lack and fear, you are wasting your energy when your energy could be better spent on moving your business forward to get you the results and the dream life that you want so bad. So I can't wait for you to tell me your perspective shift. And I want you to do that on Instagram stories. You can take a picture of you listening to this episode, or you can take a picture of yourself and share with me what perspective shifts you're having in your life when it comes to fear, lack, and scarcity after listening to this episode, and one change you're going to make, the new perspective shift that you're going to make. Feel free to tag me in your Instagram stories to show me that you are doing the hardest work that we have to do as entrepreneurs, and that is in our own head and changing our mindset. If you can change your mindset, you can change your world. I am living proof of that. I promise you, it totally works. It's such a cool hack. When you change the thoughts you think and you change the perspective you have, the sky's the limit, guys, and you are unstoppable. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I can't wait to hear the transformations you're going to have after really challenging your perspectives and your beliefs about your situation. Until next week, happy business building. Have a good one.